Racing takes place out in the Western Cape on Wednesday. It's out at Durbanville, the country track. We've got an 8-race program for you and a lot of odds on favourites. So it does look to be quite an interesting card, and it is possibly a favourites day. And if it is going to be the case, well, maybe it's a number of times you catch the exotics, not necessarily just catching it. But let's go straight into race number 1, which is the Welcome to Cape Racing. It's a maiden juvenile plate over 1,000 metres. Not the biggest of fields. You got a scratching here as well. Number 6 is out. So here I'm going to go with number 7, Margin Call. Now, tricky races because what we have in exposed form doesn't really set the world on fire. So it looks like it could come down to the first timers. And Margin Call, well, is a master of my fate filly, Richard Fourie, for the Snaith team. And on jockey bookings alone, it looks like she could well be the right one. She's also the current favourite around 15 to 10. So Margin Call, that's going to be my first selection here, and obviously a first timer. We don't know too much about her, but she could be good enough to come through and land the opener. For second, I'm going to go with number 1, De Capo, another nicely bred first timer, this time a colt by What a Winter. In fact, it's twice over, and he also looks to have a nice bit of speed in his pedigree. He could be good enough to run into the money. For third, I'm going to go with the 3, Greek Myth, and he's got a bit of form, and of the raced horses, he's probably got the most experience. I think he's one of the horses you could certainly give the first timers most to do. 713 then, not a confident selection, but I'm going to go with the first timer with the jockey booking Richard Fourie as my first choice. That's number 7, Margin Call. Right, let's move on to race number 2. This is the tabonline.co.za. It's a juvenile plate for fillies over 1,500 metres. We've got a scratching here as well. You can take out number 3, Warm Welcome. Not going to be lining up. Favourite here is odds on, and it is number 1, Bye Bye Bombshell. I think the extra distance will definitely suit, and I think this filly's going to take a power of beating here. Next in the market, and the bookmakers are looking at possibly pricing it up as a boat race, and Maria Querol is trading just outside the red figures, around 12 to 10-ish. But GGGaming obviously offer a stretch on our best bets, and they offer a stretch on our best value bets as well. And this preview brought to you by GGGaming is going to go with number 1, Bye Bye Bombshell, to win race number 2. From second, number 2, Maria Querol, and for third, I'm going to go with the 5, Fedra, who hasn't run too bad a races and has got a couple of places to her name as well. But 1, 2, and 5 look set to fight it out for race number 2. Right, let's go to race number 3, and we start off with the all-to-come juvenile plate. Another odds-on favourite here in the form of number 3, Pomp and Power. I think this is going to be the best bet on the card. A very impressive winner last time out, and I certainly think he's going to have quite a lot of scope and progression to go on and win a race like this as well. For second, I'm going to go with number 2, Captain's Knot. Now, he was a nice winner on debut. Big price as well. Didn't have too much support in the market, but did come through and win on debut and was quite an impressive win. For third, I'm going to go with number 1, Back to You. Has been showing signs of improvement, and again, you can make a case for a bit more improvement to come. But 3, 2, and 1, Pomp and Power. GGGaming's the best bet on the card, and this one, they'll afford you a double stretch. Race number 4 comes with another odds-on favourite. It's the caperacing.co.za. It's a maiden plate over 1,600 metres, Glitter in the Air. Well, she's been knocking on the door, and she hasn't just been knocking, she's almost been knocking the door down. And this looks to be an ideal opportunity for her to shed that maiden tag. She does look overdue. She does look like it's going to be a race that really is going to be for her to lose. And if she brings her A game, she'll win it, and I think she'll win it pretty comfortably as well. So Glitter in the Air, a firm first choice. For second, I'm going to go with the 2, Respectable Miss. She's got the form to be competitive. She made all the running last time out, just tied in the closing stages. And again, you've got to think that if that is going to be her tactic, she could just be a sitting duck for the likes of Glitter in the Air. And then for third, number 5, Jetrix, comes into the race with a bit of solid form as well, and could be good enough for that third place. But you can't really look away from number 1, Glitter in the Air, who looks set to give a really good account of herself. Race number 5 is up next. It's the Computer Form Online Maiden Plate, 1,600 metres. Odds on favourite once again, and I'm going to be siding with this fella number 10, Winter Royale. But unlucky on debut not to come through and win, and I think he's certainly going to have plenty of improvement just with that run under the belt. He's also going to have a little bit more experience, and he could take a power of beating here. So going with the odds on favourite once again to land race number 5. For second, I'm going to go with the 9, Royal Grove. This is a nice horse. He looks to have quite a bit of scope as well, and I think he could be quite competitive in this type of company. And then for third, number 1, Bel Punto. He's been knocking on the door. He's shown, he's pretty exposed. He's shown what type of ability he has. He might not be good enough to win it, but I certainly do believe he could run on into the trifectas and quartets. 10, 9 and 1 then, the numbers for race number 5. Let's move on to race number 6, the Racing Association merit rated 96, a handicap over 1400 meters, and this definitely is one of the more competitive races on the card. I'm going to go with number 4, Adios Amigos. Really likes the 1400 meters, and that's the trip he gets today. I think this is a nice type of horse. He's got some really good form behind him, and all the form that has been exposed, there's been quite a few winners that have come out of it as well. So he does represent, for me, an opportunity to win once again. For second, I'm going to go with the Second Wave, another horse who's ultra consistent. He doesn't know how to run a bad race, and the team, Woodruff, have really kept him on the boil, and he is very, very consistent. For me, another one who's definitely going to run a big race, and I think it's between the 4 and 5 to fight it out for top honours. For third, I'm going to go with number 1, Captain Flinders. He's going to be coming off a bit of a layoff. He will be running fresh, and he does like to run that way. He's got some good form on his comeback runs, and I think he'll be good enough for that third placing. 4, 5 and 1, the selections for race number 6. Well, race number 7 is business as usual, another odds-on favourite in the form of number 2, One Way Traffic, and he's another nice young horse coming out of the Snaith Yard. He looks to be very progressive. I really like the look of him in the parade ring, and I do think that he's going to be a nice horse going through the division steadily, and he gets a great opportunity here to add to his winning tally as he lines up in race number 7, the World Sports Betting Play Soccer 6, 10 and 13. So he's going to be my first choice, One Way Traffic. I like him. I think he's a strong contender for top honours, and he's worthy of being an odds-on favourite. For second, I'm going to go with the 6, Van Gogh. Looks to be his only main danger. He's a nice horse. He's highly regarded by his own yard, and he could certainly have something to say about One-Way Traffic coming through and making this an easy contest. I think those two really do stand out. It's a great race to get involved in the exactas, and I do think that 2 and 6 will fight out race number 7. I'm throwing in number 9 for third, Secret Glider. Has earning potential. I don't think can win it. I think the winning credentials lie with number 2 and 6, but 2, 6 and 9, the selections for race number 7. Right, let's move on to the 8th and final race, and this is the World Sports Betting. Next Kenilworth meeting is on the 29th of May. And let's go straight into this race because, again, it looks like there could be 3 or 4 runners that could fight out this contest. I'm going to go with number 1, All About L. He looks to be above average. He was a gutsy winner last time out with really not being 100%. I remember doing the interview with Adam Marcus, and he said, well, I didn't really have him 100% right. I think he's going to get better with racing and probably be a better 4-year-old. Well, that's another race that's coming up, and he's going to be a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit more experienced, and I think he could come out on top here. But he's going to have to really pick up his feet to beat the likes of number 3, Royal Watch. He's got solid form. He's a proper knocking handicapper, and you'll certainly see if All About L is going to be up to the plate when taking this fella on. So 1 from 3, and then for fourth I'm going to go with the 4, All Lit Up. Also has form to be competitive, has also been pretty consistent, and again you can make a case for him running into the trifecta and quartet money. 1, 3 and 4, the selections for race number 8. Let's move on to the exotics for our Durbanville meeting. And here, obviously, it's the way you decide to structure it. It looks like there's a whole lot of odds-on favourites, so you probably want to go in and maybe catch it a number of times rather than just catching it, because if all the favourites do run a place, because there are small fields as well, your place accumulated dividend isn't going to be that healthy. But if you catch it many, many times, you could show a healthy profit still. So I'm going banker 1, banker 3, banker 1, banker 10, by 4 and 5, by banker 2, by 1 and 3. So just a 4 rand perm. Banker 1, that's Bye Bye Bombshell. Banker 3, Pump and Power. Banker 1, Glitter in the Air. Banker 10, Winter Royale. And then we go 4 and 5, which is Adios Amigos in the second wave. By banker 2, One Way Traffic. And then the last 1 and 3, All About L and Royal Watch. That's the place accumulator suggestion for our Wednesday meeting. Let's move on to the pick 6. And here we're going banker 3 as well, which will be Pump and Power. By banker 1, Glitter in the Air. Banker 10, Winter Royale. So banker, banker, banker. Then I'm going to go field in race number 6. There are 6 runners, put them all in. Maybe we get a result there with the likes of Zeb popping up and getting us some earning potential for the exotic. By 2 and 6, that's One Way Traffic and Van Gogh. They look set to fight that race out. And then the final leg, 1, 3, 4 and 10. You can go wider in that last leg as well, because obviously quite a cheap perm. So that's the pick 6 suggestion. I repeat, 3 by 1, by 10, by field, by 2 and 6, by 1, 3, 4 and 10. Best bet, that's going to be Pomp and Power that comes through in race number 3. I think certainly very impressive on debut in that winning, and won very nicely coming out of that. Takes on the horse Captain's Knot, and I think Captain's Knot is going to have difficulty in beating number 3 Pomp and Power. So he's going to be my best bet. And a reminder, GGGaming offer you a double stretch on the best bets and also the double value stretch, and that's on today's value bet, which comes in race number 6, and that's number 4, Adios Amigos. Loves the 1400, has been so successful over that type of trip, gets the trip again today. He's going to be our best value bet. This preview was brought to you by GGGaming. Enjoy racing out to the country course out at Durbanville.